So there I was, enjoying some beer, editing the next video in my series, which is this one, or it will be. And I realized that I never told you shit about what happened and what I was doing. I just kind of dumped that video out there. Honestly, I recorded that months and months ago. I was so frustrated with what I found. It was disheartening. You know, that engine, this one right here, so much was wrong with it. Finding all that silicone everywhere. Finding half the bolts weren't and studs weren't torqued properly, or they brought the case savers out with them. You know, so much going on. I just couldn't make myself get back into it. It took a while. I mean, yeah, the bug's running with that 1835 just fine. It doesn't need the 2180. But at some point, that 1835 needs to go into my daughter's car. She has a 64. So I got to get going on the 2180. This video will go over what I found when I split the case, because that's a little more terrifying. Judging by what we saw from the outside, imagine what the inside's going to look like. So now I'm filming this right now after this has all been done and a decision's been made. But of course, you don't know that. So we'll pretend that you don't see any of this right here, and we'll go talking about splitting the case, what I find inside, and where we go from here. Well, I think this cinches it. That lifter bore is broke. So, yeah, I guess we're done here, at least with this case. Yeah, this side, copper as well. So now the question becomes, is this worth anything? It's got STDs. Yeah, it's an 84 millimeter crank. So I'm guessing it was new or newish when it got put in here. I think there's going to be some play in those connecting rods too. Oh yay! Alright. I wonder why they're rusty. I can show you what those parts look like. So let me pull this out here. What parts, you ask? Oh, just don't move anymore, please. The parts that were the magnesium inside the case, and holy shit. Do not use carb cleaner on magnesium. What the hell? They're crumbling in my hand. You know, these used to go like that. But what the shit? They're like... The carb cleaner ate the magnesium. Look at this. It's, you can... I don't know if you can see it, but I can feel it. It's all just powdered magnesium now. Oh, that was a bad idea. Oh no. Carb cleaner and magnesium do not mix. Well, that's okay, I guess. I don't know. No, that's terrifying. Alright guys, we're going to call it a night. I'm going to go enjoy some more grape juice, and we're going to sit and wait until I get my torque multiplier and get the flywheel off. I got a new toy. Torquemeister from Latest Rage. So it's not a real Torquemeister, but whatever. It works. One of those things you want, but you never seem to get. Don't need that part, just need this part. Whoa! Oh, and I even found the right one automatically. Sweet! No, I couldn't get that lucky. Oh, it's got to be this one. What the fuck? I was robbed. None of them fit on there. Let me zoom in and show you. Okay. This. Maybe that'll help. This does not fit nowheres. What? It's the same size on both sides. What? My axle nut ain't the same size as this thing. Of course, no instrucciones. Well, there was a waste of money. So to weld up my Sharky 3000 Torque Sharkmeister. Ooh, I kind of like Sharkmeister. Anyway, I have a new TIG. I sold off my MIG to buy a TIG, and I've got the TIG, but I still don't have any gas for it. And it's not going to be here till next week, and I don't want to wait. So I broke out this thing. I bought this a long time ago. And as you can see, it's been well preserved with oils and whatever else. But this is the cheapest Chinesium flux welder I could find. That was a long time ago. Well, a couple of years, but you know how it is. Just that. Oh, that's for those useless masks they come with. Third. It's awfully heavy for being so crappy. Alright. Here's that mask. Yeah. Pops in there. Maybe it goes back here. No, that's definitely... There we go. I guess it's like that. And then you fold these. This is so fucking bad. Snap those. See that? Fancy, right? This is some quality stuff right here. You don't need anything else to weld. This is all you need right here. Pop the glass out. Oh yeah, that's quality right there. And even though it's wrapped in plastic, it's already covered in schmoo. Wiping it on the jeans because that's the best thing for optical glass. There. Ta-da! Yeah. Yeah. Protected. Dude, wouldn't want that cardboard to rust. Clearly not an inverter welder. It's way too heavy. Alright, so which way opens? How do you get into this thing? Like that? Okay. I just wanted to see if there was any of that super high quality Chinese welding wire in here, and yes, indeed there is. Alright, awesome. That's the best you can buy right there. And the doodads to assemble it. Alright. Look at that. Didn't even stay in the clips. I'll save this for when the neighbor comes over and wants to weld. Let me know how that works for you. Yeah, can always use another one of these. Alright. So what I need to do is measure this business. So the bar stock has to come up just high enough for this to sit there, and this here with the socket welded on there. That's probably better. Now, I should get the socket so we can see how much bending I'm going to need to do. Okay, Not in the case where it belongs. Where do you suppose it is? I hate burning such an expensive socket. Well, it's not super expensive, but it's a good one. 1.5 inch Teardown. And there we go. So if I weld just a piece of, let me find a piece of flat metal so you can see. This will work. This is just some 1/8 inch. But, you know, let's say I've got that in there. Damn, that's pretty close. So if I've got this on like that, that's never going to reach. I don't know how much you can see. You can't see shit. Yeah, so that's really pushing it, having it stick out that far. So what that means, especially if I'm going thicker, then it's going to be riding on the hex there. So what I need to do, actually, might be able to get away with just going straight. I might be able to just get away with that. Alright. And I just made a template on top of it. How fucking cool is that? Alright, so I need to cut a piece of the heavier steel so that I have that much, so it needs to go about there. I need better markers. Hang on. I have a tape runner over here somewhere. So we need to make it so that the socket that is there, right? So that means if the socket's there, and it's down there, so that's where the socket goes. So I just need to give it some extra room, like that. And I might maybe give it a little bit more meat out there, I don't know. The real important part is going to be right here. That's where all the torque is going to be. Up here, it's not going to be much. A couple of, 20, 30 foot-pounds up here. But it's going to translate to, it's 10 inches. It'll translate to 30 foot-pounds, should go down to 250, 270 down here. Oh, shit. That was easier than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking I was going to have to do a bunch of math. Who needs math? Hey, why does that not match? Oh, wait. There we go. Now it matches. Perfect. Okay. Drill a hole. Ease the edges. Cut here. Ease the edges. We'll tack weld the socket. Might do that before I drill a hole. Tack weld the socket. Check the fit. Make sure everything's copacetic. Drill the hole. Check the fit again. If I did everything right, then we'll finish welding around the socket. If I didn't do everything right, then, no harm, no foul. Okay. Good. there, which means you there, and nice straight edge go. Okay. Let's find the center while we're here. So 1 inch. Yeah, this actually is 2 inches. Weird. So should I be using regular welding wire for chrome molling? Probably not. It'll be fine. Shit. Got to put my welding jacket on. I gotta say, that's a brand. Black Stallion something. There we go. Not a sponsor or any shit like that. I mean, come on, who's going to sponsor me and have 100 subscribers? But it seems pretty well done. And while it's made in China, the company that resells it is local, Santa Fe Springs. So that's nice. I'm really blown away. You know, it's early January right now, and yes, this is after the assault on the Capitol building. Idiots. But it's 76 degrees right now, and it's going to be in the 80s this week. Like 86 on Wednesday? What the hell? January in Southern California. You get what you get. Weird. Alright. So, tack weld top and bottom. And we'll go from there. That is ugly. Yeah. You like the clamp this thing came with? Looks like it should be on a really cheap pair of jumper cables. Yeah? You know, I wonder if spraying that spatter stuff would help the nozzle. So let's try it. Of course, now I gotta cut this shit again. Because why wouldn't I? I just like wasting time. Alright. One more shot. Bring the thunder. I don't know that spatter stuff helped here. Well, maybe. Yeah, I had one part pop off, but another one that won't come loose. Whatever. Alright, let's let that cool. And we'll go test fit it. We've got my tack welds on there, and it is tight. That is really... I'm happy. I need to come back and do all the rest of the welds, but before I do that, I want to make sure I don't fuck up the rest of it. So, we're going to drill that hole. Got some shit in the way here. Got a burn though. Okay. Yes, I just brushed a bunch of shit onto the crank. It's fine because I'm going to have that polished Where did I put my drill bits? What the hell? Found them. Alright. Norseman Magnum. You know what that is. Alright. So I'm going to get the ones that just fit inside of here. Way too little. Too big. So we'll go down one. So there we go. This is a 31/64. Let's see if that's good enough for our purposes. And if you can tell by the yellow, this is a cheap Wen. W-E-N, Wen. And I'll tell you, so far it's been great. Oh, I've never used this particular one. Do I have any cutters here? Yes. And we're going to take the seal off. Ah, bonus seal. There we go. I gotta tell you, if you're cutting metal, you need this. It really makes a difference. Okay. What you hear rattling is just the metal cover. Alright, we have a hole. Okay, before I test it, what do you think? Think I'm going to make it? Think that's the right size, or I'm going to need to go bigger? I am thinking I'm going to need to go bigger, but let's see. Very close. Wow. I might be able to just clean that up with some, with a little bit of a focus. You're not going to focus, are you? Anyway, you might be able to just clean that up. Well, it removed material, so this might actually work. I want to get it perfect. Holy shit. That's how close it was that this just pops in. So it'll be like this, and it's actually being used. Let's weld. I'm having too much fun with the welder. I was cleaning up and forgot to tell you about the welder. So it worked. I'm not happy, but it functioned. Um, again, they're cheap and they work. The biggest issue I ran into, aside from my lack of skill, obviously, was the wire that came with it was binding on the spool. So it starts sputtering, and what the hell? Why is it sputtering? And then I find the wire wasn't feeding, or it was feeding extra slow. So I bet you if I bought some quality flux core, it'd probably be fine. It did keep tripping the breaker. I've read that it really wants 30 amps. Now, no house has 30 amp 110, and I have 240 available, so why would I spend money putting in a high amp 110? I don't know. It did its job. I can use it for things like this, or for welding nuts onto, broken bolts, whatever. That kind of stuff, it's fine. Where was I? Welder did fine. It did what I needed it to do. I got the crank out. Where did the tool go that I need? I gotta tell you, I'm really kind of freaked out that it took so much power, so much torque. So here's the tool I made. Yes, it's ugly. The geared part is what came with the kit, but it's strong as hell. I had to double it up on this end right here because there was still enough slop in the gear shaft that it would slip off the teeth of the flywheel. Now, the correct tool solves that by having the casting be, longer, but I don't have a casting, so I just welded another plate on, and that took care of it. I mean, obviously, I had pretty much my whole weight on this thing with a breaker bar and a cheater. I'm honestly surprised that cheap Husky socket, it's an 11 millimeter socket because that's what that thing comes with. A cheap Husky 11 millimeter socket didn't break. So I'm impressed and happy that that was the way it was. Crazy, right? These are the chunks that came out of that case. These go around the lifter bore. As you can see, when I put them in the ultrasonic cleaner, it pretty much turns them to powder. There's no way these are going to get welded. And honestly, there's so much else wrong with this case. Totally not worth it. And this here is the tool that I made. And I got to tell you, it's a beast. I mean, it's heavy as hell. And I put so much work into trying to get that nut to turn. These welds held. God knows how, because certainly isn't my, welding skill, but they held. So this is a permanent part of my toolkit now, along with the rest of this Torquemeister style tool that only does 36 millimeters. So we'll just keep this all together in this glorious CIP1 box. And this, you'll see this in the next video. This is the case I bought to replace that case. So this one is one, it's a Mexican, which I didn't even know there were Mexican. It's a Mexican AS41, and it's been unmolested. I mean, it's run, obviously, but still all the stock size openings. no internal machining. So we'll get this one cleaned up, take it in to be machined, and this will be the base for the 2180. All right, guys. If you like this stuff, click the button down below. Subscribe. Ring the bell. Help Guy out. Only got a few hundred subscribers, and it would mean the world if we could get more of you on there. See ya.